Well, the holidays are officially upon us, and let's be honest, holiday gatherings they can bring a mix of joy and chaos. But don't worry, I've got you covered. In this episode, we're tackling the season with four powerful tools to help you thrive: a grateful mindset, stress free conversations, finding rest in madness, and making time for what truly matters. Whether it's navigating awkward family chats or carving out a moment of space for yourself, in a moment of peace, you'll leave feeling equipped and inspired for the holidays. My goal is that you have a rest filled, joyful, joy filled holiday season. So let's get ready to make this season one to remember. This episode on the Dads Making a Difference podcast starts right now. Hello, my friend. Welcome to this episode of the Dads Making a Difference podcast. My name is Cam Hall. I'm your host, and we're diving into four things that I think you need to keep your holidays full of joy. Here's where this comes from. A friend of mine, Mitch Matthews, he was a guest on our podcast. He is also host of the Dream, Think, Do podcast. He sent out an email last week with his four things that you need to keep the holidays full of joy. And I wanted to do the same with you. I wanted to give you four keys that in this crazy and busy time, you can use to make sure that you are getting the joy-filled holiday experience that you deserve and your family deserves. This comes from living in a moment of complex activity. And here's what I mean by that. Our kids are crazy busy. I'm busy with work and the podcast and coaching, and Kim's busy with coaching and her work. And it's just a really busy time. And as we head into this holiday season, there's always been one experience that we've used as a family to kind of kick off the holidays. It doesn't feel like the holidays unless we do this. And that has been going to our favorite mountain town, Canmore, Alberta. Now, Canmore's in the Canadian Rockies. It's about 8 minutes from Banff, Alberta. Yeah, you can Google Banff if you're listening to this and you don't know where Banff, Alberta is. But it is a beautiful place. And it has a special spot in my heart because my grandparents lived there when I was a kid. And I spent a lot of my Christmases in Canmore, a lot of summer in Canmore and special and Easter and those types of holidays. And I just love the Rocky Mountains. And I love to get to the mountains with my family. If you know me, if you followed me for any period of time, you know we love to do our adventures in the mountains. Well, this fall has been increasingly busy, and not in a bad way, just in a lots of activity type of way. And we haven't been able to spend really a weekend away or intentional time together as a family as much as we've wanted to over the last couple months. And we're looking at this third weekend in November, which for the last 7 years, we've gone to Canmore. We have gone because we started when the kids were quite a bit younger, 5 and 3, and we used to go to the Santa Claus Parade on Banff Avenue. It was on a Saturday night. The snow was falling. It's in the Rockies. It was gorgeous. It's beautiful. This like Hallmark movie-esque Christmas experience. And we started doing that and we loved it and the kids loved it. And there were times my in-laws joined us, my brother joined us, my friends, and we just really enjoyed that. Well, that parade hasn't happened since 2020, but we still go this weekend. And the last couple of weeks we were talking about this trip and we're like, well, are we going to go? The snow's starting to fall. The weather's starting to get a little bit cooler. Are we going to go? And we found excuses not to. We found, well, we're going to be away the next couple weekends for kids' competitions and tournaments. It'll be nice to have a weekend at home. Or, it's just a little too expensive right now. And we're heading into the holidays. Let's be more mindful of our spending. Or, it'd be nice just to sit at home for a day. Like we came up with excuses. Well, I say we, Kim and I were having these conversations. And what ended up happening was I got home from work on a Monday, last Monday actually, and just thought to myself, like, what am I prioritizing? What am I prioritizing right now to ensure that my life is filled with joy, with experiences that we're proud of having? And I tell you, I love watching Braylon play soccer and Maya climb, and we love doing these things. But in that book I just recently read called The Family Board Meeting, it talks about having really intentional time with your kids. And I looked at that as a bigger picture of have we had intentional time together as a family? And we really hadn't. All of our time together as a family had been centered around activity. And I'm sorry, but us as dads, sitting in the stands watching our kids play is not quality time. So I decided that we needed some quality time. And so I came home Monday last week and said to my wife, by the way, got an Airbnb and we're heading to Canmore. I told my kids, Maya, you're skipping climbing. Bray, you're going to miss soccer. You're going to miss these things, but we're going as a family. And my kids love their activities. And there was a part of me that thought they'd be disappointed. Oh, I don't want to miss climbing. I don't want to miss soccer. But actually, what happened, they were so excited. Okay, can we leave early? Can we go right after school? Can we take the day off school and go? And it was just really exciting for me as a dad to see that making this choice to go on this weekend away immediately filled my family, my wife, and my kids with joy and hope. It's a time that we've built memories around, an experience that we've enjoyed, and it was really cool to see. So we just had that weekend. Some of the highlights, and I want to share this with you because I think in your life there's times where you don't appreciate the simple things. There's lots of stuff we did. But when I asked in the vehicle on the way home, each of us, hey, what was your favorite experience? What was your favorite part of the weekend? Everybody kind of said one thing, and it was interesting. They said it in one way or another of the time to relax. And so there was an hour time on the Saturday where we were in between maybe some things we wanted to do. Maya went climbing, Bray went swimming, Kim and I joined them. But there was a time in between where we spent an hour and a half at the Airbnb. I read, I'm working through a Bible study right now I find really interesting. So I was reading, Kim was reading, and Bray and Maya were just coloring, just like mindful coloring, like really intricate, intense color design things. And in the background, we had this YouTube Christmas jazz relaxation music in the background. It's like a clip of this computer generated house and the snow is falling in the background, but it has this music and it's really relaxing. And we sat there around the fireplace for an hour and a half and we just were together, just to be together. And we weren't talking, we weren't like digging into deep conversation, but we were present. And in that moment, we all felt connected. And it got me thinking. I was sitting there and I finished reading and I was like, what are some things that we really enjoy? What are some things that going into this super stressful season, we can lean on to make sure that we're not getting overstressed or distracted by the things around us and that we're actually focusing on what we want to focus on. And that is getting ready for the holidays so that you can have and we can have a joyful, joy-filled, and restful holiday. Because yes, it is possible to have restful holidays. So I want to give you 4 things that you can do, 4 keys to ensuring that your holidays are going to be joy-filled, joyful, and restful. All right, so let's dive in. You're going to take these. I'm going to try to twist these. I'm going to mold them. I'm going to make them relate to you. But really, this is coming from my experience and what I've really learned over the last couple of years as my kids have gotten a little bit older, now being 10 and 12, where this time together as a family is really important. And we don't want to get lost in the busyness of the holidays. So first of all is this. Thing number 1 is gratitude is a weapon. It's a secret weapon. That's what Mitch says. It's a secret weapon. I love that the holidays are all about being together. I love that in Canada, we have our Thanksgiving in October. Americans, today's Wednesday, tomorrow you have American Thanksgiving. And I love that Thanksgiving starts off the holiday season both in Canada and the United States, and that it's all about being thankful, especially when you recognize that gratitude is like this superfood for your brain. It's just really, really good for you. It's good for your mood. It's good for the way that you think. It's good for the way that you reflect on your life and what's going on. And it's really, really good when you're feeling stressed to start with a gratitude practice. I've done this in my day. I'm going to tell you, I've been getting up at 4:25, so I'm out of my room by 4:30 in the morning. I do my devotionals and my prayer. Then at about 4:45, I have some water and I head off to the gym for its 5 a.m. open. My gym opens here at 5 a.m. I don't love it, guys. I don't love it, but I'm grateful for it. And I've had this practice that every morning when I wake up, one, I go, and I'm thankful that I just took a breath. I'm thankful for another day. We have a friend in our community who's about my age who is on his last breaths. And I think about his family. I think about him heading into this time. And I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for another day that I woke up and I have an opportunity to be the husband, to be the father, to be the leader, to be the community member that I need to be and that I'm called to be. And so I start with gratitude. There's a song right now I'm listening to. It's called Country Psalm, and it's by Brandon Lake. And it's just a song about gratitude. And I played that song on my way to the gym. It's not really a pump up song, but it is a pump up song because it gets me ready for my day and it helps me frame my day through gratitude. And I'm going to challenge you, men listening to this right now, start your day with gratitude. Be thankful that you woke up in a warm bed this morning. Be thankful that your loved ones are next to you. Be thankful that you have food to eat. Be thankful that there are people in your community who care for you. Be thankful that if even you right now, you are in a time of stress, despair, pain, discomfort, that there's a brotherhood here who's praying for you, that's here to support you, who's thinking of you, and who's willing to help. Be thankful that you have people in your community who are willing to reach out to you. And if you are alone, I'm thankful you're here because you can email me, you can connect with me. My email's in the show notes. We'll put it in there. You can email me, just reach out and for a connection this holiday season if you were alone. I'm grateful that we have this platform and this podcast to do that, to reach out to you, to connect with you, to build relationships with you. That's what the Dads Making a Difference Alliance is all about. This brotherhood, this collective, this community of listeners to this podcast and men who go beyond and meet up online and have conversations. That's what this is for. And so thing number one for the holidays is no matter how stressed or crazy it might feel like it's getting, start with gratitude because gratitude is your secret weapon. All right, thing number two, we are coming out of a very complex time this fall. So get ready for those, in quotation marks, those conversations. We know the ones. I've had a couple recently, not with family, but with friends, conversations that feel more than celebratory. They're more, as Mitch would say, they're more than yay. Whether it's navigating a political landmine or just trying to break a painfully long silence with family members you haven't seen in a while, or overcome an awkwardness of a past interaction. And maybe it's what does it say? Don't talk about politics or religion. And maybe that's all your family's talking about is politics or religion. You know, those conversations that happen at the holidays. Well, I've got 5 easy strategies that I've learned from Mitch Matthews that are going to help you out with those conversations, okay? So here are 5 strategies. Yes, very transparently borrowing these from Mitch. I thought these were fantastic, and I framed them myself. I'm doing a lot of reading actually right now on conversational acumen and conversational guidance. It's something I love doing, and I coach business owners in, and I coach coaches in, is how to converse with their team, how to lead their team. One of the books I'm reading is called Radical Candor. It's here on the left-hand side. I got Never Split the Difference here. Be Exceptional by Joe Navarro has another one about conversation. It's really great. But Mitch has these 5 strategies to help you out in these awkward conversations, and I really, really like them. Number 1 is this, compliment and question combo. So people love talking about themselves. I hate doing solo episodes. I'll be honest with you. I love doing interviews because I can just ask questions. It's a conversation. But I'm going to challenge you, just side note, stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself, and have a conversation for 25 minutes with yourself. It's really difficult to do. So here's what I know about people and what you know about people is that they love to talk about themselves. Compliments like, hey, you're always so good at hosting. What's your secret? Can get the conversation flowing in a healthy way. So think about a compliment followed by a question. Hey, I really love what you've done with your house. Did you paint? Easy one. I just said that because I just looked up at my office, which we just painted. And so think about the compliment and question combo as a redirection in an awkward situation. The other one is that curious pivot. It's like a question, this curiosity that's going to shift the direction of the conversation. So get curious about something that's neutral. Like, hey, tell me more about your recent holiday that you went on. Tell me about your last tournament you went to with your kids. Tell me more about the book that you've read. I've just mentioned a couple of books. What's the latest book that you've read? What were your biggest takeaways from it? What did you enjoy about it? What did you not enjoy about it? Or maybe you're sitting in somebody's living room and they have a picture up of their family. Like, hey, that's a really great picture of your family. Where was that taken? What made you take your pictures there? So the curious pivot is a really healthy way to move a conversation in a way away from the awkwardness and also be authentically curious about the people you're with. Third strategy is just own the awkward. I do this really well at work. People are like, how do you do that? How do you just like sit in awkward silence? Well, you got to own the awkward. So if you're feeling stuck, one of the things I like to do, I can be a little sarcastic times, but I try to use humor. So I will literally say something like, okay, so this is awkward. So let's talk about something completely random. And then I'll come out with an awkward question or a random question. Like if you had my son's favorite, if you had to eat one dessert forever, what would it be? So just embrace the awkwardness. So own the awkward because people often like something that's lighthearted, doesn't cause them to think too much. And so if you're feeling stuck, just know that people appreciate a good laugh and a little self-awareness. Fourth little strategy is to have a go-to story. So prep a lighthearted or funny story ahead of time so that you can pull out things when they get uncomfortable. It's kind of like a conversational safety net. So if you have a go-to story, something that you've just experienced, something that you've done, something you've experienced in the past, something that reminds you of, lean into that. So have a go-to story. And then the fifth thing is to know when to exit, know when to pull the rip cord, let the chute go, and just retreat. Because sometimes the best strategy in an awkward conversation is to retreat. A simple, I'm going to go grab another drink, or I just need to go to the washroom. I'll be right back. Washroom. It's a Canadian thing. Bathroom, whatever you want to call it. Or perhaps even better, hey, I'm going to go grab another drink. Can I get you anything? That just works wonders. So it also gives you a little bit of a break. So that's a bonus. So those 5 easy strategies to help you out of hard conversations, and not hard conversations, but really those conversations. Again, compliment and question, curious pivot, own the awkward, have a go-to story, and know when to exit. You know when the healthiest time to exit. Because, the holiday should feel joyful, not stressful. And so those 5 things are going to work for you to get you out of those situations. I'm curious. Those are some of the strategies that I read that those work for me. But what's your go-to? If you're thinking about it right now, what is your go-to to handle really awkward conversations? I'd love to know. Share it on social media. Tag me at Dad's Making a Difference. And I'd love to see it. And I'll share it on ours and give some guys in our community pointers on how to get out of the awkward. So there you go. All right, so we've gone through thing number 1, which was gratitude is a secret weapon. Thing number 2 is get ready for those conversations. And then 3 is key. And this is what we were able to do in Canmore. And I can close my eyes right now. If you're watching on YouTube, I close my eyes right now. I can just picture it. I'm sitting they had this like leather recliner. I'm like leaned back, trying to stay awake. The fire pit is going, the indoor fire pit. And it's so warm, like almost too warm, but just warm enough to want to put you asleep. Got the music in the background. I'm reading, kids are coloring, and I just feel the warmth, dog sleeping on the floor. And it's just that really peaceful time. And the best thing about that is it was a restful time. It was a moment full of rest. And so my encouragement to you in this holiday season, it's okay to find rest amid the chaos. Find rest amid the chaos, the craziness of going home to home for a dinner or a Christmas party or a work party or different things that you've committed to over the holiday season. Again, 5 things that you can do to find rest amid the chaos. Because let's be real, the holidays can be like a whirlwind of food, overeating, travel. For us, we do lots of time on the road and just too much other stuff, right? There's not enough time for us to just break away. And it's easy to lose yourself in the hustle and the bustle of the holidays and forget again what the season is about: connection, gratitude, and yes, rest. It is a great time to rest. So if you're craving a little peace and quiet in the madness this holiday season, and if you're American, the American Thanksgiving starting tomorrow, here are 5 favorite strategies that you can use right now to actually find rest in your holiday season. Number 1 is this. And I learned this through Mitch and an article about micro rest. So make micro rest, small rests, a habit. Because you don't need hours to recharge. It is nice to have hours to recharge, but a 5-minute breather can work wonders. So one of the things that I like to do, I've done this before at work. Actually, I've done this with youth. This is gold with teenagers full of angst who are in a stressful situation, is box breathing, where you inhale for 4, hold it for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. So it's inhale, 4 seconds, long inhale, hold it for 4 seconds, exhale, long exhale for 4 seconds, hold it, empty lungs for 4 seconds, and repeat it. And that box breathing, you just sit, eyes closed, hands on your knees. You can just take deep breaths and do that box breathing. It's just taking a moment of rest. You can go for a quick walk outside. Rest doesn't have to be sedentary. Like, rest can also be active. So go for a walk outside. Like, even a tiny break can help reduce your stress. One of my favorite things to do right now, actually, is I have an app on my phone called Pause. It's the Pause app. It's by John Eldridge. It's just so good. If you're a Christian guy and you're looking for a really good pause in your day, the Pause app is amazing. It has a 1-minute pause. There's a 3-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute, whatever you got time for. And there's pauses for strength, for clarity, for growth, for relaxation. Go ahead and find it. It's called the Pause app. Even if you're not a Christian guy, I'm going to encourage you to get it. It's just really, really great stuff. Make a micro rest a habit. Flip the script on rest. That means not all rest is about sleeping and doing nothing. It can be active. I felt that this past weekend in Canmore was very restful. Although we spent that 90 minutes really resting and being still, we also rested through activity. We went on a long walk through snow-covered trees with the crunch of the snow under our boots. We stood under the trees, and as Mom recorded in slow-mo, we shook the trees, and I can just feel the snow falling on top of our heads, and I can hear my kids' laughter. We rested actively. And then Maya wanted to go climbing. She's a huge climber, like bouldering and top rope and all of this. So I went with her, and Bray wanted to go swimming. So Kim went with Bray, and we were able to have that family board meeting type experience with our kids one-on-one. And we got back together and we had dinner, which our favorite in Canmore is a Chinese food place called Famous Chinese of all places. But it's delicious, and we do that when we're there. And we're back together as a family. And it was such a restful day. It was fantastic. But it wasn't just sitting around doing nothing. You can still rest actively. But if you prefer quiet, do what we did. Sit down, read a book for a bit, doodle, journal, do whatever you need to do. True rest happens when your mind slows and you're fully present. Think about that. True rest happens when your mind slows down and you're fully present in the moment. So that can be you're doing something that's active. That could be something that's not active, that's a little bit low key, journaling, coloring, reading, meditation, prayer. True rest happens when you slow your mind and you're fully present. Okay? Number 3, Create a restful ritual. So anchor your day with one calming ritual. In the morning, it's my gratitude practice, it's prayer, it's just breathing. It's also splashing my face with water to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Not as calming, but helps me going. Or it might be one thing I love to do on the weekends when I don't go work out or on my off days is to just get up and sip a little tea or coffee for 10 minutes before everyone else gets up and just enjoy the stillness in the morning. Or maybe it's a journaling session, a gratitude journaling session. Maybe it's reading at the end of the day. Or for us old guys, I laugh, I say that half-heartedly, but I'm feeling it right now, is stretching for 10 minutes before bed. It can be something simple, but just create a restful ritual in your day. And don't forget to do it during the holiday season. 4 strategies: leverage the power of nature. This is one close to my heart. Get into nature. Science says that time in nature helps reset your stress response. So get outside, breathe fresh air, get into nature. And if you can, sneak away for a walk through the park, a walk with your dog, a walk in the woods. If you're lucky enough not to live in Canada, a walk by the ocean or on the beach with your dog, whatever it might be. It could be in a sunny spot in your house. Whatever you want to do, just expose yourself to natural light and fresh air. It's going to boost serotonin and it's going to set you up for a better night's sleep when you get there, but it's also going to give you that refresh during the day. And here's another one. Say no to find yes. I've talked about this before on the podcast. Rest means setting boundaries. Remember that true rest happens when your mind slows and you're fully present. Well, if you have no boundaries, you can't slow your mind and be fully present. So sometimes you have to say no. So I challenge you this holiday season, say no to just one thing that you don't have energy for. It can be a party, the extra dish at dinner, anything that's pulling you where you feel like you're being pulled too thin. Say no to it so that you can say yes to what really matters. Time for connection, gratitude, and rest this holiday season. Okay, so that's all thing number 3, finding rest amid the chaos. 5 strategies: micro rest a habit, flip the script on rest, meaning make it active, not just passive. Create a restful ritual in your day, leverage the power of nature, and say no so you can say yes to the things that matter. Because remember, this is another thing. I've said it before on this podcast. Self-care isn't selfish, and rest isn't selfish either. It's essential. You deserve rest, my friend. So take it, because the holidays will feel so much better and more joyful when you take care of you, when you're able to take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And so again, I'm curious, what is your go-to way of resting? I want you to share, tag us on your social media at Dad's Making a Difference. I'd love to hear it. Hit reply and reach out to you to see what you're up to this holiday season. All right. Thing number 4, with how to make sure that your holiday is joy-filled and restful. And that's making time for rest. Making time for it. Schedule it. Make sure that you are making it a priority. So there's a couple quotes here, and I want to just see if any of these resonate with you. There's one that says, almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. And that's Anne Lamott. I like that one. I thought it was really good. But another one is that it's not the load that breaks you down. It's the way that you carry it. And I'm just like, that stuck with me because right now, the work, the family life, the busyness, whatever you're going through, I feel it. We all feel it. We feel it this time of year. It has been a crazy year. It's been a crazy couple months. It's been lots in the media that we're seeing all over the world. The world's in a crazy spot right now, but in your home, I want it to be settled and I want you to be settled. And so think about the load that can break you down. It's not that load. It's how you're carrying it. So put some time for rest. Take a little bit of that load off your shoulders. Spread it out. Say no to the things that you don't need to do so that you can say yes to the things that matter. And you can truly enjoy the spirit of the holidays. Get some well-deserved rest, my friend. You are worth it. You're worth it. Your family is worth it. You can do this. It's not selfish. Rest is not selfish. Self-care is not selfish. My friend, I appreciate you. I wish you Merry Christmas, a happy Thanksgiving to my American friends. If you're listening to this, you got Thanksgiving tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. Have time with your family and with Canadian friends. Hey, we've had the turkey, but hey, go buy another turkey. Make one this weekend and just enjoy for the sake of enjoying. But happy holidays. I'm still here next week. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm thinking about you. So this week, think about how can you create a joy-filled, joyful, and restful holiday season. All right, my friend, until next time, be out there, make a difference. We'll see you on the next episode of the Dads Making a Difference podcast.